Hello, this is Michael D. Friedman with CinemATL, and this is 4 Good Things About I, Tonya. Number 1 is the acting. You might have heard a lot about Margot Robbie playing Tanya Harding, or maybe even Allison Janney playing her mother. They've both gotten a lot of critical praise and even some nominations from Critics' Awards, and deservedly so. But my star of this film is actually Sebastian Stan as Jeff Gillooly. This is a Sebastian Stan that you're not probably used to, especially if you're used to seeing him as the Winter Soldier in the Marvel movies. It's a completely different take for him. It's a very good stretch for him. He brings a lot of seriousness and levity to a role that's really complex, and it was very enjoyable. And then another actor I'd have to point out is Paul Walter Hauser. I don't know much about him. I haven't seen him in very many things, but he is really funny in this film. He's portrayed as this crazy guy that wants to be a criminal mastermind, or a very intelligent person who's really stupid, but he does a great job of pulling off the dim-witted mastermind. Number 2 is the script, written by Steve Rogers, which is kind of funny considering, Winter Soldier, Steve Rogers, Captain America, get it? Anyway, Steven Rogers wrote the script, and it's told via interviews of all the prominent players, which makes it an interesting way to tell the story, because you don't really know what's true or not, and that's part of the charm of this movie, is the fact that you don't really know who's telling the truth or what the actual story is, and you get to see a lot of different sides of different characters, and it makes it a very entertaining film. Number 3 is the direction. This was directed by Craig Gillespie, who is probably best known for his movie Lars and the Real Girl, and also some other films like Million Dollar Arm. What he does that's interesting in this film is he has the characters sometimes address the camera directly when they're telling the story, and it's a very effective device, and makes a really visually interesting film when all of a sudden a character breaks out of a scene and talks to you directly and says, this isn't actually what happened, or this is actually what happened in this scene. And it's actually a really interesting storytelling device, and works very effective visually as well. And he also has some really great shots in this film. There's one scene where Jeff Gillooly is at the end of his he's like down the bottom of the barrel, and we see the camera pan throughout this house where he's all alone, and we see him at different points in this it's like a really surrealistic panning shot, or dolly and zooming out of this house going down the street. It's just a really cool shot, and he's done the director did some really impressive things in a story that's pretty basic, so it makes it a really visually appealing film as well. And then finally, number 4, I think what makes this movie appealing is its real life. These are characters that could be easily made fun of, and there's a lot of laughs to be found in this film. But it also makes them real. These are people that do stupid things. They might be ignorant. They might be dumb. They make mistakes. But at the end of the day, you still kind of feel for them, even when they're doing bad things. Even when you know that, like, Jeff Gillooly is not necessarily a good guy. He's definitely not a good guy, but he also has some qualities that make you feel for the character. And that's really kind of hard to do. There's no straight villain in this film. They're all just kind of leading their lives, trying to survive. And that makes it really an interesting take on something that could just be played for laughs. And even though it is really funny at times, there's also some very, thought-provoking things in this film. So overall, I'm going to have to give this film an A-. I did enjoy it a lot. I don't quite think it's, Oscar material, but I did really enjoy the performances. I think that they all, the top 3, Margot Robbie, Allison Janney, and Sebastian Stan, I would love to see them get nominated for some acting awards around Oscars time. Although I don't know if any of them are really truly like Oscar breakthrough performances. But it's a very enjoyable film, and you should go see it. And another thing, it was filmed in Georgia, so Go out and support Georgia Film. And if you want to learn more about Georgia Film, make sure to keep checking on us at CinemATL.com. And I'll be back next time on 4 Good Things with another review. Talk to you later.